That's life. That's life. That's life. That's life.
You can't stop life from happening, cause life is everywhere. It happens when you have a father who is never there. It happens when your friend's in a casket and you just there, cause that's all you can do, even if you don't care. You can't stop life from happening, cause life is everywhere. It happens when you have a father who is never there. It happens when your friend's in a casket and you just there, cause that's all you can do, even if you don't care. I was dying as a child, I met life the hard way. Never met my real father, but that was a smart way. I was in the 3rd grade when life moved our way. Me and my sister's friend got killed and that was a hard day. They finally got the killer, he said I'm regretting it all. Said he was sorry for stuffing her between the bed and the wall. He told everybody that the devil was inside his head. Told him that he made him rape her after she was dead. That's life when memories enter your head and don't let go. That's life when the killer is still sitting on death row. You can't stop life from happening, cause that's what life is. Life is bad when you outlive your grandkids. It's when you got a gun to your neck and choose to live. It's when a father makes a bad choice to bruise his kids. That's exactly what life is, and I know it's hard to admit. I met my father once, but I didn't want to. You can't stop life from happening, cause life is never done. Life happens to the infants who aren't old enough to run. Life happens to the older and the younger ones. That's life when a father decides to pull out his gun. You can't stop life from happening, cause life is never done. Life happens to the infants who aren't old enough to run. Life happens to the older and the younger ones. That's life when a father decides to pull out his gun. A mother and a daughter picked up the father from work. I guess he had a bad day, cause he was acting like a jerk. The parents argued back and forth and they started to curse. That's when life visited the father and it started to hurt. He contemplated whether or not he should drop all this, all the fussing and arguing and all these fits. But he continued on, he couldn't stop his lips. Before you knew it, he pulled the gun that was on his hips. That's when life lost our worth, because he shot his kid, and he shot his wife and himself in the head. And guess who lived? Well, he did, because life didn't let him die. Sometimes that happens to people who don't deserve to survive. The whole infant's life flashed before her eyes in a heartbeat. She wasn't even able to speak and get out of car seat. Her helpless little body was killed and she hardly understood she was a victim of a dad having a hard week. You can't stop life from happening, cause life is also death. Life happens when you're struggling and there is nothing left. That's what life's like, because life's a test. That's life when your parents gotta be ruthless. You can't stop life from happening, cause life is also death. Life happens when you're struggling and there is nothing left. That's what life's like, because life's a test. That's life when your parents gotta be ruthless. There was a teenager who thought life was hopeless. Kicked out of his house cause he was gay, not homeless. My sister offered him to stay at ours, no stress. But that night life happened, now what he had hope next. My mother caught him staying and kicked him out in the storm. No place to go and his clothes was all torn. He wished he was never born, cause life made him lose. My sister was mad, but my mother had to choose. Think about it, she found a stranger living under her roof. I sided with my mother cause I would do the same too. Anyway, the kid called his parents with hurt feelings, asked if he could come back, but they weren't willing. So he jumped off a building cause he tried to abort life, but ended up on life support. Now his parents came to see him, but were as ruthless as thugs, cause they turned to the doctors and told him to pull the plug.